Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgmo, of course. There will be people joining us. I'm sorry I'm late a little bit. There was an emergency for Rory, an emergency for Jamie. We'll be joined probably by Igal in a bit. I'm here with Patrick. First of all, before we start the show, this is my first live show since the Diogo Jota news have dropped. To be honest with you, the news have shocked me, and it showed a lot of people on Twitter and that they're using this for their personal gains, and they're using this as a stick to beat other people with. I just have to say that Diogo Jota, and the reason why we are saddened by the news, probably, and we're talking about the news more than the other news, is that someone put it on Twitter very, very well, that because we have seen Diogo Jota for the last 4, 5, 6 years at Liverpool every week, we have been talking about him, we have been watching him play football. It actually affects us maybe more. There are numerous people that die everywhere in the world. There is the people that of Gaza, there are the people that are in other wars in the world, and we talk about them, we keep them in our prayers. But for Diogo Jota, it's because it makes you reflect more on what you're doing as a person in your life. This is going to sound deep, but it's actually true. Because I've seen the same when my dad passed away, to be honest with you. It's that sudden death that you're not expecting. It makes you reflect and look at your life, look at your loved ones around you, and get a hug. Sit with your mom, sit with your wife, sit with your kids, sit with your family. And for the people that didn't understand that a sudden death like this, for someone who is in his youth, at 28 years old, that is playing the game he loves, he just got married, and that happens to him out of a sudden. It's just a reminder of all of us that death is just at our step, and we need to do whatever we think is right and whenever we think is correct. And it makes you reflect on what you do in your life and how you treat other people, to be honest, because of the memory that you leave behind. This is very important to me. One of the things that has happened after the Jota sudden death is how people shared his memories around, how he helped other people. Terry spoke about him helping him personally. Other people spoke about how they met Diogo Jota and he was a nice person. He helped them in their life. There is the women's team, if I'm not mistaken, in Ireland or something like this, that he helped them. It's the memory that you leave behind you. It's how you treat people with respect, honor, good manners, and because what lives after you is your memory, to be honest. And all I have to say about this is it it shook me. It made me sit down and reflect about what I do. It made me really look at myself and my life. It made me look at how sometimes you'd like get away from a family gathering or something like this because you don't feel like you want to go. It makes you think like, I don't want to see this person. I'm treating this person bad. I'm like, just think about the memory and think about what happened to Diego Jota, someone that you never thought, like you woke up yesterday and never thought that this person would die. It is, to be honest with you, it's very sad news, along with other news around in the world. But because, as I mentioned, we have been watching Jota, covering his news and covering all what is going on around him getting married, and then 6, 7 days later, he died, and his wife is now a widow, leaving behind him 3 children and a family. And a great gesture from Liverpool to retire the number 20. I really didn't want to go live yesterday because I'm not sure if I could have handled going live yesterday with something like this that has happened in the world. It's sad. It makes you think that life is very short, very, very short. And you need to really, really make use of your life, do the right things, leave a great memory. And that's it. And as it says, live your life as this is your last day and plan for the future as gonna live forever. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, as people say, we all go back to God. We are all from God and we all go back to God. That is what is Diallo saying. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That is what I wanted to say about this. I know that life goes on, and I just don't want people to get upset that life goes on. News are circulating. There are people that start doing their work, people that go to work the next day, and people that start doing their job. Life goes on. But what stays is always the good memory of a person. We'll always remember that person, to be honest. How are you, Patrick? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Look, I was the same as you. That's why I also canceled my shows yesterday. I think, like, look, I'm going to just say one thing. I think certain people don't get things. Look, at the end of the day, humans are different. Some humans, like, emotion doesn't hit them. Like, I'm one of those guys that emotion hits me, even at work. When somebody tells me something that they lost a grandmother, I used to take it that, like it's very close to you. And you're right. The more I saw a lot of posts saying, oh, but people die in this place, or people die every day. Why are we crying over billionaires? Because football is somehow is our life. Let's not lie. That's the reason why you and me are here and people are watching, isn't it? Football is our life. I'm watching football every day, and you sort of, even if it's a rival thing, you sort of feel like you know that player. You get my point? Like I do feel like I know the guy. Like out of a sudden, a 28-year-old, and just like that, a freak accident, and the fact that I was hearing rumors that his brother also just got married recently. So it was very hard, man. It was very hard, and you've just put it out right. I'm not gonna add a lot, but man, peace to him and peace to his family, and may God also grant peace to him and his brother, and also all the family, because I swear that was something that touched the football world. I think everybody was touched, and as much as I said, some people tried to use it for that. Again, I don't even know why people are trying to do that. It was very disappointing to see, but that's how the world is. There's a lot of characters, and some characters are nasty characters. But more, I respected what you did yesterday. I also did the same thing. I was like, I'm not going to stream today. I don't think I'll be on stream. I didn't really want to go on stream and then we start continuing with that. I was like, I just need time, man. This has shocked me, and reading the story more was just broken. And then looking at the wedding things, and the message he left his wife, isn't it? That I think she said, I deserve you something. Like, no, I deserve this more, and I can't wait for us to finish our lives together. And you see something like that happen. So it's just sad. So, but over in general, myself, I'm okay, man. And it also reflected in the same thing that it also gave me more appreciation. I think sometimes I don't appreciate life more. I can be honest with you. I really don't. Or I'm like the same. You're saying that when moments you're like, oh, Dad, let's go to the park. You're like, I don't really want to go to the park right now. Here is the money. Go buy yourself something out. It really makes you appreciate that some of these things in life you take them for granted. Even the family functions, you say where they send you an invite and you're like, no, I'm working, but you're not working, not to show up. But respect to you, man. I did respect what you did yesterday by not doing the stream. Other people did. It's fine. It's up to everybody.
It's fine. It's people work. It's their livelihood. It's their food. I don't mind. Like people say, I watched some streams yesterday actually. But listen, people. Thank you for everyone that is here. I want everyone in the chat to do something. Hit that like button first for the show. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. And I want everyone in the chat to actually tell me where are you tuning in from. Tell me just the country so we get the community together. Tell me where are you tuning in from, people. Just hit that like button first. Let's get to 100 likes. It's over 200 people in the house. And also subscribe to the channel. Let me, where are you tuning in from, people? Please, please, please. Listen, Sweden, Nigeria, of course, Nigeria, California, South Africa, England, Estonia. Big up D for being here, of course, Kenya, Pretoria, Birmingham, Maryland in the UK, Nigeria. What? Maryland is in America.
Yeah, I didn't know.
South Sierra Leone. I'm in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Big up my man, Northern Ireland, India, Jamaica, England, Liverpool. Big up Lewis.
We've got Northern Ireland in there. Big up Northern Ireland.
Leeds, England, of course. India, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. Big up everyone that is here. Kenya as well, Stockholm in Sweden. I'm from Milano, a fan here. Thank you, Malcolm, for being here. Austin, Texas, big up neighbor. Sydney, Australia, England, Bangladesh, Oregon. Jenny, big up the American people. Happy 4th of July to all the American people, of course. Happy Independence Day for all the American people. San Lucia, Somalia, of course.
Jesus, more, you've got the whole of Africa here.
Yeah, Abuja, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Big up, my friend. Big up, guys. Dubai, of course. Big up the people that are from Dubai, of course. And Namibia. I don't want to miss anyone, guys. I have the whole Africa continent here.
That's what I'm saying. You have most of them are my neighbors. Namibia, South Africa, Kenya. Those are my neighbors. I'm Malawi.
Scotland, UK, Europe. So make it clear to friends from the US. Happy 4th of July to all my American friends. Let's get the Connecticut. Oh, the Mad Hatter is here. Connecticut. Big up, my man. Guys, let's start actually by asking Patrick the question that before we talk about the transfers, I actually wanted to speak. I'm glad that I'm having Patrick on his own here, okay? Because I'm going to corner Patrick, okay? I'm going to corner you now. Let's go. Guys, hit the world. Hit the like button. Guys, can we get to 200 likes? Why? Our City, we watch City against Al Hilal. City are not invincible. Why do people actually put City ahead of Arsenal? And some people put City ahead of Liverpool just by default. And don't give me Pep Guardiola. You watch City. You know that your defense is wide open. You know that Rodrygo is not back to his best. He needs time. We all know that Marmoush, Doku, Savinho are not Leroy Sané, are not Bernardo Silva at his best. We all know that your wingers are not even Sterling with the goal scoring. We all know this, right? Why do people put City ahead of everyone? Even though Reinders looks good, he's going to take time. Foden looks good. He's good in everything. There is no Kevin De Bruyne. Diaz, they are renewing Diaz. Why? Why is that notion that City are just going to be favorite? And it doesn't make sense. At the current moment, City are third for me. Are third. Because injuries, Arsenal will finish second. Injuries, City finish third. Pep Guardiola is the same Pep Guardiola. Teta is the same Arteta. Arne Slot is the same Arne Slot. Why? Why is that?
I think it's the fact of, how can I say it? I'm going to give you an example. Since this is the rational show, so we always use examples that obviously people have to relate. So I'll give you an example. Do you remember all the great champions? Remember? We're talking about Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, all these guys. Do you remember there was a point where they were finished? We're talking about Muhammad Ali. They were finished. But guess what? When Muhammad Ali is going in the ring with the prime boxer, they would be like, oh, Muhammad Ali will still win. And people be like, but Muhammad Ali is old now, you know? He's old or he's not. They say Muhammad Ali, it is. It's just fear factor. I think when somebody puts a legacy, like the City legacy, that was very aggressive. I think it's one of the most aggressive one. Because the Chelsea one, if you think about it more, it was an on and off legacy. It was on, they lose, the win, they lose, the win, that code. But City was sort of a very consistent legacy. Just one time we did fall apart and Liverpool took our place, but we still came back stronger. So I think it's a fear factor and PTSD in people that people think, oh no, because I've gone on panels more and I have told people, but our defense is not great anymore. I was like, we're not great anymore. We're not the same City. They're like, shut up, you're trying to lie to us, you're trying to deceive us. So I think it's a fear factor more. We left the fear factor.
But you don't have, with all due respect, you don't have the fear factor.
Yeah, but anymore. You don't get it. That's
you don't have the fear factor.
Yeah, I know. The teams don't fear us. The fans do. The fans still sit there and think it's still City. Like the fans, if you listen to the fans, there's no fan here. Even after, like, look, do you know what made me laugh? I remember us getting smoked more during last season. We were smoked. And I was like, guys, we are finished here. We got smoked by Juve, a very poor Juventus side. I was like, we're done. Somebody said, nah, we were playing them next. I think we're playing
You didn't, with all due respect, Arsenal beat you 5.
I know.
And they didn't have a striker. 5.
I know.
And they didn't have a striker.
And guess what? In the next game, what was the opponent saying? They were still scared. They were still saying,
no, Crystal Palace were not scared.
No, you're making a mistake. I think you're making a mistake.
I'm not making a mistake.
The team as a football. Look, more. The team as a football team, Crystal Palace football players were not scared of City. But the fan base were still saying, oh my God, it's you guys. You guys will still bump us. I was like, bump you where? You're better than us right now. I think you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to say the football teams, Eze was smiling when he scored and laughing. They were laughing.
He's like, that was easy. There's like, bum, that's easy.
But look, the fan base, during that time, I know we ended up beating them. Remember, it was not in the final, but we ended up still beating them in that game. The fan base, when you talk to them during the 1-goal or 2-goal when they were up, the fan base was still scared, saying, this is City, you guys can still bump us. So I think the fan bases haven't yet moved, majority of them, but the players have. The teams don't fear us. I said the Brighton fan, I was like, Brighton are going to smoke us.
No, but
Brighton
the problem is rivals. The problem is, Patrick, rivals like Osam and other rivals. Oh, City are still here. Some people think City are ahead. Some people think City are ahead. And I don't know how. To be honest with you, I'm a very logical person, right? I'm a very, I pride myself as being a very logical person, okay?
No, you are fair. Yeah.
Right? You watch Manchester City play football now, and you know that Pep Guardiola is struggling to find the right formula. One time, Bernardo Silva in the middle, Foden on the right, Bernardo on the right, Marmoush second striker, Nico Gonzalez, Gundogan. I'm watching the game. I'm like, this guy is struggling a little bit. He's struggling a little bit. He's the greatest coach, right, at the current moment in the world. The greatest coach and the best coach. And I hope my team has Guardiola. Everyone wishes their team has Guardiola. But in the same time, we watch, it's football at the end. Man United were great, and then they fell off. By the way, Chelsea were very good under Conte, and then they fell off. There are other teams that fell off. Arsenal were invincibles, and the next season, Mourinho came and played well.
Fell off.
Yeah, they didn't fall off, but it's not as people think. People give teams a given right. That is not given. That is the same as Real Madrid will beat Arsenal, guys. And we try to talk rational to them, guys.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Arsenal are a good team. They defend well. Real Madrid leave themselves open at the back, and Arsenal can hurt them. And Real Madrid are not the invincible team that you guys think they are. No. Real Madrid are gonna smoke Arsenal. It's gonna be finished at the Emirates. It's gonna be done. Like Man City against Arsenal can never beat Man City 5. They literally beat them 5. That never happened. Oh, Liverpool will not beat Man United. Liverpool fucking beat Man United 7. Football, it doesn't work on paper. Like, people think that football works on paper because City have Pep Guardiola.
Or Pastore.
Yeah, like, because they won. every time I ask someone, they tell me one thing. Because City won 4 in a row. Yeah, but they won 4 in a row like that's 2 years ago.
And you know
Not
what?
now.
Do you know what's funny, Mo? Do you know what's funny? I gave warnings when we were winning 4 in a row. 4 in a row, I already saw issues. Even with Rodri in the team, guess what? We used to get outrun by teams in transition and counterattacks. And it was only Rodri and Foden that decided to carry us. Remember, everybody was saying these two guys are carrying the team. Now let me be honest with people. There's 2 things happening at City. Number one, you're right. Pep Guardiola is failing to come with a solution, but also he's his worst enemy. By the way, Mo. This guy, Pep Guardiola, is his worst enemy. He finds a solution, but I don't know the genius. I don't know if it's about being a genius or trying to show people that I can still do this with the old guard. He finds a solution against other teams where he plays Reinders. Obviously, Reinders plays with Nori and Doku. They play so well. Even Doku came out in the media and said, me and Reinders can speak Dutch. I can speak French with Nori. Our connection was beautiful. And he plays Reinders next to a DM. It works. No, Pep Guardiola says no. More, Pep Guardiola says no. This is not it. You're right. He's confused at the moment. He says no. This is not good. Too good to be true. You know what I'll do? I will remove Reinders from the left. I will put Gundogan, who's slow, who's caused me so much issues with transition. Then I'll take Bernardo Silva. I'll put him right. Gundogan and Silva are both very slow at this moment. They struggle with transition. They're good on the ball, but they struggle with transition. Then guess what? I will tell Reinders, you are a number 8, and you are a number 8 on attacking midfielder mostly. Today you are a DM. You can rotate with Gundogan as DM. What are you doing? And then we easily get destroyed. He leaves Nico G, who's 23 years old, a DM who can play next to Reinders. He leaves him on the bench. And instead, he says, you know what? You know what more? He starts seeing that, we're getting countered by transition. Guess what? He panics. PTSD hits Pep. Instead of subbing in Nico G, or instead of trying to say, you know what? Let me sub Turkey. They're packing the bus. Let me just sub Turkey or Foden to break them down. Guess what he does? PTSD, he brings in 3 defenders and 1 DM.
Yeah. Can I tell you one thing about this? Big up my man here for the first super chat. Botak
Singapore.
Big up Mo from Singapore. Big up the people of Singapore. Got 700 people in the house. Let's get the likes up, people. Hit that like button, people. Appreciate everyone that is supporting the channel. Let's get the likes to 400 live, guys. It's a competition between yourselves, right, and time. 400 likes live. The like button is free. It doesn't cost you a penny. So hit the like button. Let's get the likes to 400. Let's go. Some players have dropped off, in my opinion. Competition shows if they have for sure dropped off. So if so, bench or sell. Let me tell you one more thing, guys, about Pep Guardiola. Do you know people mocked Jurgen Klopp about being emotionally attached to players? And they actually mocked Arteta of being emotionally attached?
Yes.
My man is giving Diaz a new contract. My man Diaz is like...
Rico Lewis. Also Rico Lewis. Lewis also.
Rico Lewis, bro. Rico Lewis. A new contract. And then the problem is City fans don't want to admit that. Some City fans. They mock Arteta and Jurgen Klopp about being attached. And then your own manager is really attached to players. He's really attached to players. And you talk about some of the players about City, with all due respect, Diaz is good, and he was always good. But again, you might need an extra center back. Bernardo Silva, captain. Ya akhi, Bernardo Silva wanted to go like, I swear to God, I'm hearing Bernardo Silva to Barcelona 3 years ago. Here goes 2020. It's almost 2026.
Every season since lockdown.
2026. It's 2026. And Bernardo Silva might continue for extra 2 years. He's the captain. Bro, Bernardo Silva is good and everything. And he starts him every single game. Like, it's a non-stop issue with City. But people sit here and gaslight City fans. Oh, City are still the same. We are the treble winners. Yeah, I can say Inter won the treble in 2010. It's 2026 now. The treble winners are different. They're different than this. But the problem is they mock Arsenal. That is the problem. They mock Arsenal. You know what I mean? You're not good. Nah, the team that is not good without a striker beat you 5. You added Reinders. Is Reinders a game changer? Like, okay, with all due respect, Reinders is a good player. Okay, I'm being honest. But is Reinders a Kevin De Bruyne? Like, there are certain players in the world that can change your team. I'm gonna give you these names, in my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
That can completely change the team, right? Lamine Yamal, number one, changes your team and changes the opposition's approach to your game. Lamine Yamal, right away. Right? Rodri changes your team completely. Right? Mohamed Salah, Kylian Mbappe. Right? Harry Kane. That is my opinion about these players.
Before you go to Kane, there's one player that list after Yamal, for me as a midfielder, I don't know, some people might laugh at me. You guys have somebody in your team. I think if that guy went to City,
No.
Barella.
No,
I take Barella.
He's not like what I mean by a game changer.
But you get that because of that
in
midfield,
my opinion,
yeah.
These are the four players. With all due respect to Osman Dembele, these are the four players in the world.
Wait, what change are you looking for? Like,
no. A player that completely changes the opposition's approach to the game. You get my point?
Oh, okay, I see.
Like completely, like you have to change your game if you are playing against Yamal, if you are playing against Rodrygo. Like they completely change.
What about Pedri?
No, Pedri is good. Joao Neves is great. Vitinha is great, but they aren't like people don't understand. Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Saka, Foden. These are not teams that will change fortunes of games. These are below them. I believe that these four players at the current moment complete. For the defense, in my opinion, there is only one defender in the world at the current moment that completely changed your fortune as a team, which is Virgil van Dijk. He's the only on his own. Doesn't need a partner. Doesn't need anybody. Virgil van Dijk on his own really change everything about your game. That is my opinion.
Can I say something more? I know you don't rate them because they're your players, but there's two players I can get from your team, you know? There's two players there's actually three players, to be honest, I can take from your team. Because sometimes I believe this more. Don't forget when Virgil van Dijk was at Southampton, I did look at him and say, okay, there's potential in this guy, but it wasn't like, Van Dijk, you know what I mean? Sometimes you take somebody from somewhere. As bad as some people mention things about Inter, Barella, I think, comes into City is better than most.
He's not a game changer. He's not.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about game changer. I'm talking about fixing the team and looking better. What about even Bastoni? Bastoni is solid.
But you have Gavardiol, Bastoni, kind of similar, very similar.
Oh, okay, but yeah, but you know what?
Very similar.
So what? Okay, can I ask on that note where you're saying this, right? Because I look at this City team more. I don't even think quality has become the issue. You know, more. I think it's set up. It's Pep Guardiola's set up and obsession with certain players. Because for real, you're right. Why, number one, for the first time, did he decide to take over the captainship? Do you know why? Because he wanted to put his favorite as captain. I'm okay with it, okay? You're giving Bernardo Silva captain. But also the same thing, Mo. You're right about obsession. Look at him last season. Wasn't there a rumor that Gundogan has to play certain games to trigger his contract? Guess what? Pep Guardiola made sure he played so many games, it triggered within a short while. Kusanov is one of the fastest defenders we have. If you're struggling with counters, Kyle Walker is not there, and you came in the media and said, oh, Kusanov might actually be faster than Kyle Walker. You have Kusanov on the bench. You sub in defenders like Akanji who are struggling. So he loves Akanji so much, by the way. Apparently, some guy was making fun that Akanji, since he's a mathematician, is tutoring his daughter for maths degree. I don't know if it's true. Then he loves Bernardo Silva so much. He loves Gundogan. Don't forget he signed Gundogan while Gundogan was on a wheelchair. So he loves Gundogan. And then he loves Rico Lewis. There's these players, and Diaz, he thinks there's no other, obviously, because Diaz is a leader. You're right. I think if he was ruthless, like he was sometimes in his young age, he could have been dropping Diaz right now and saying, Kusanov, it's your time. You can stop counters, you're fast.
Can I ask you something else? Do you think your attack is as strong as people think they are?
No. You know why our attack is not strong? Do you know why our attack is not strong? People look at Haaland and think just because Haaland is there, but Haaland carries all the goals. That's not a good attack. You need an attack like everybody has to contribute. That's why some of the City fans, Raheem, Aguero, and Sterling, they say it was one of the best because goals were from everywhere. Goals could come from anywhere. Now it's not a good attack at all. Not at all.
I don't think so.
Do you know what the best attack would be, though? I've been thinking for a while. If that's because Nori can take over the width sometimes, right?
Yes.
If you had Mamouche at the left, but he has to tack in next to the striker, and then maybe you have Cherki RW, I think that's a more scary attack than Doku, Savi, and Haaland. Am I wrong? But also, let me be honest, and I know some City fans will be pissed at me, but I'm about to say it. I saw a more fluid team. I repeat, more. And I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. I saw a more fluid team as Omar Mamouche playing as a striker with Doku and Savio at the three. The way they were pressing and the way they were causing trouble, they seemed to be more trouble than Haaland, Savio, and Doku. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think Mamouche was causing so much trouble when he was playing as a striker. He presses very well. He doesn't choose when to press. He's constantly pressing, dropping in, and you can notice that defenders struggle. He's dropping back in, they follow him, he drops there, he makes space. That's when you saw when Mamouche plays, Doku and Savio seem to have the best games because Mamouche will draw defenders in, he can find them with the pass. I think our attack just looks better, our pressing is better. But Onyo, let me just say something on Reinders before I forget. I don't think Reinders is bad for City. It's just that Pep Guardiola has an obsession again of playing a guy who's a number 8 just because he's good on the ball as a number 6. So Reinders now is being played as a number 6 DM, and it's not working out. But when you see Reinders playing as a simple 8 or box-to-box crusher, it's looking great. The issue we have, I think people don't want to say it, the issue we have is Pep Guardiola. He's obsessed with certain players. He's obsessed with certain things, and every time he finds a solution, when a team slaps him in the mouth, he goes back and reverts his own issues. And our defenders are finished.
If you're talking about Man City, I have one thing to bring to the table. They're going through
bring everything. Don't bring.
You're going through a transition from a team that was solid defensively to a team that's attacking again. You're gonna have to outscore teams consistently, like outscore them in high margins, because I don't see you guys keeping too many clean sheets against top teams and teams that are really good on the counter. So it's gonna be one of those seasons where if you want to win major honors, you're gonna have to do it off the back of your attack. And not
the problem is, I don't know if you were hearing the show. We were talking about why do people assume that City are just ahead of a team like Arsenal, just by definition. I don't know.
So you know why? Because people are still scared of us. They came out the transfer window quick, and you know what it is. There's a thing. Arsenal fans, okay, forget about Arsenal fans. If you finish second or you finish third, the team that finishes third or fourth feels like they have a better chance of overtaking the team that came second than the team that came second does think they have a chance to go and win. Coming in second, because you've come so close, you feel bad. Where coming in third and fourth, you have optimism to overtake and get to that pinnacle. So it's easier for somebody who finished third and fourth to be like, you know what, I can see myself getting there. Where Arsenal, we haven't been there in 20 years. And really and truly, it seems like it's a harder task to get over that line than it would for Man City, who's been there 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah, but it's not about that. We watch the football and we know that City are not as strong as they were before. We all know this. We all know this.
No, but because it's Manchester City and they've won it for the last 4 out of the 5 years.
This is what I told
Mo. It's more plausible to be like they're back than it is to say Arsenal are finally going to get over the line. Until we do it, people are going to count us out. That's the fact.
Yeah, I told. Before you came, I told Mo that, look, Mo was like, oh, but the teams don't fear you. I was like, I get it. The players don't fear us. Arsenal players don't fear us. But there's a certain Arsenal fan base. Some Arsenal fan base don't fear us.
Man City don't have fear factor anymore.
Yeah, but you get it.
They have respect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's like the players now, even the Crystal Palace players were laughing. I told Mo that this is too easy. They were laughing. They don't fear us anymore, and the respect is like, no, we can't get beaten by these guys anymore. But the fan bases, some of them are still in their mind. Oh, it's City. Because I remember when you guys were beating us, I can even give an example of Arsenal. I give an example of Crystal Palace. You guys were smoking us. Do you know what I said? I was like, man, we better close the door or this will be 10-0. And that guy, the Arsenal fan, looked at me. I was like, stop joking. You guys have something for a second half. I was like, we have no smoke. We're done. It's just people still have the PTSD that, oh, it's City. But the more we go on, look at this. Nobody cares about us anymore. Nobody cares. They'll beat us.
I was on multiple shows, Mo, and you know what they said to me? Lee Gunner said to me, Man City are back. They beat Juventus 5-2. They're back. You know what I told them? The defense is still suspect. I was on a show with some other people also. I told them the same thing. End of the discussion. You know what happened? 2 days later, Nick, all of them, like, you know what? You're right. And to me, until I see Man City improve their defense And until I see the full transition away from the defensive team that you guys were when you won the treble to this team that you're trying to be a little bit more attacking with attacking wing backs and full backs, and you get a right back who's actually decent. Because right now, Nunes, you can't go into the season with Nunes as your right back.
We also
Man
need
City got exposed by Al Hilal, and that should be in the title. Not their attack is not good enough. They got exposed defensively more.
No, we did. It was easy. They knew what they were doing, and you know what? But do you know what it got? This is another thing: is there is a solution in the team, believe it or not. But my manager, as Mo said, people keep pointing at Arsenal, saying Arteta is obsessed with certain people. They keep pointing at Jurgen Klopp, but people are not pointing at Pep. Pep is obsessed with certain players that he will shoehorn them into this team, and some of these players can defend. They can't. They're not good at defending. They're ball keepers. The defenders, he leaves them on the bench. Every player that's good in defensive stats, he leaves on the bench. He wants to play ball players who get ruined and screwed, and he also played Gundogan. Gundogan in 2025 at the age of 35 in midfield will get ruined. To be honest with you, we'll see how it goes though. It's not even about Reinders this has nothing to do with Pep Reinders from Liverpool. This is on Pep Guardiola. As long as Pep Guardiola
why didn't Rodri start?
What?
Is Rodri fit enough to start?
He's not, and it was even not a good thing to play Rodri because I kept saying play Nico Gonzalez because Rodri now look he's injured.
Why is he not playing Nico Gonzalez?
I don't know because he also played Gundogan. But I'm dying here with this man. This man is upset.
Aren't you going to get rid of these guys? Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, John Stones.
Oh, he won't. He made Silva captain. And Gundogan, he got him to activate their contract.
Silva is the worst leader on the pitch.
No, he's a good leader, but
no, he's not. He's a crybaby. Every time you lose, he comes out and starts complaining about how the opponent played football.
You see that I didn't talk about this. You see that this disrespect about Al Hilal. Every time we play teams like this, like he didn't even give them credit for winning the game. It's like every time we play teams like this, like I don't like Bernardo Silva. I like him as a player. I don't like him as someone who is like I don't like his personality, same as Bruno Fernandes. You know what I mean? I don't like that personality.
I actually think they're very competitive.
I don't like the disrespect he shows to other people. I don't like it at all. I'm just he's really as Igal said, a crybaby, bro. Like coming out in the Club World Cup, just give you got beat by a team basically that plays in the Saudi League. Give them some respect. At least respect them. But he didn't want to. He just wanted to show that we always play teams like this. I'm like, some shame, bro. Just fucking.
Hey, I think even Man City fans can agree. From when you do it against Liverpool 4 years ago to when you do it against Wolves last year to now you're doing it versus Al Hilal, it gets to a point where he done it for Portugal versus a random team too. Bernardo Silva does not have the character to come out after the game and be talking on the behalf of the entire team. He's gonna.
I don't know. I love him, Cristiano.
Ruben Diaz is just as bad too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Portuguese, but that's the Portuguese team. Have you noticed they all just never give credit? They all just say they're very like. What I was about to say. Do you know when I did my preview for this team, Mo? I gave a very stern warning to everybody on the panel. I said, this is not. Because they were giving examples. I was like, oh, but Inzaghi failed that Inter team. I was like, be careful with this El Hilal team. Look at them one by one. Look at Malcolm. He's just a failed wonder kid who went to Barcelona. It didn't work out, but he's still a baller. I talked about Ruben Neves, where me and Martin argued, by the way, Gao. I said, I would take Ruben Neves at City. If I did a starting 11 right now, Ruben Neves is walking into my midfield. He's like, how dare you? Who's Ruben Neves? He's useless. I was like, be careful, guys. And then I spoke about Koulibaly. I said, these names I'm giving you, these are not scraps. I talked about that keeper. I was like, have you ever watched Morocco? I gave them a warning in the preview. They all went against me and said, Patrick, stop gaslighting this team. Stop gaslighting this team. I don't know, be careful with this team. These guys are stars. This is not, I told them that this is not one of those like Ronaldo teams. Ronaldo is 37. It's not Inter Miami. I said it's not Inter Miami where it's Sergio Busquets, Alba, that these big ages. These guys, some of them are 28, 25, certain age, they'll still play football. I'm actually happy, low key, that we got bumped because I think the Juventus game gave us false hope. So, but still, it's good we got bumped. good that some City fans have seen that Pep Guardiola is still obsessed with certain players, because I was getting cooked saying I'm very negative when I say Pep Guardiola will never drop Gundogan. As long as Gundogan is here, that Pep Guardiola is blind. People say he's not blind. Look at what he's done at Barcelona. Look at what he's done at City when he came in. I was like, no, those are not his players. These are his players. So I am happy. And I'm also happy because I say we need to fix this defense. And it happened. Look,
yeah, let me read this. A big up Egal man shows up a day after a day, even when idiots take it too far with their comments. For the love of the game, baby. Anyway, we laugh at City. Big up Frankie. As Egal is always here. And also, to be honest with you, he moves. Who gives a fuck if some idiot on the internet says something? Who gives a shit if some idiot just says stuff on the internet? By the way, Egal released a video. He did a live responding, and that's about it. And he moves. It's not going to stop his life for some idiot before that idiot apologizes, to be honest with you. Unless that person apologizes publicly. It is what it is. Moving on from City, guys. 41 minutes on City, but Mo, you never speak about City. That's the accusation. You always speak about Arsenal.
Keep
41 minutes.
Keep this stream, and always bring it back to people when they say that.
Yeah, just we'll do that, guys. Big up, guys. Can we get the likes up a little bit? There's over 700 people in the house. Can we get the likes up a little bit? Hit that like button, people. Come on. Someone says, Mo, you're a hater, but I'm speaking about City. Anyway, Noni Madueke. Bro, it looks like it's reality.
What's happening?
I actually think, to be honest with you guys, Arsenal are not idiots. They know if they get Noni Madueke as their main winger, okay, there's going to be a backlash. Even from someone like Egal. I know that Staffy and Egal, Staffy says that Egal praises everything that Arsenal does. This is just the propaganda, and this is just banter between friends. But Egal wants Gyokeres over Sisco, for example, even though Arsenal are going for Sisco. I actually think there is going to be a backlash from the Arsenal fans if the club signs Madueke as their main winger, to be honest with you. And the club are not idiots. They're not going to do this.
I'm worried. I'm worried about Ethan because what I seen today, if we bring in Noni Madueke and we and that messes up and we don't sign Ethan to a new deal, Ethan is better than Noni Madueke. I don't care what anybody tells me. At the age of 18, to get 9 goals at the age of 18, Noni Madueke, if I'm not mistaken, last season the same amount of goals almost. Pretty much the same thing. Noni Madueke maybe had 10 or 9, all comps. Ethan is better than Noni Madueke. Give Ethan run. Trust what you have in the house. You can go and sign players like Eze, go and sign players like Rodrygo. But if you sign Noni Madueke, we have not gotten better. In my opinion, we're getting worse because we're giving somebody $90K a week who's not guaranteed going to be starting week in, week out, who's already shown that he's get frustrated at Chelsea with time and game time and minutes. What do you think is going to be when he's at Arsenal, where he's not ever guaranteed to start over Saka? If we go and sign Eze or Rodrygo, he's not guaranteed to ever start over them. I don't think he's better than Trossard. I don't think he's better than Martinelli. We're signing a player worse than every player we have in our team in the position already. We're buying a Chelsea player who's coming into our team to be the worst player out of our whole attack. He brings nothing to the table. All he does, 1v1s, and he can't even score. 1v1s, can't even finish the pass.
Somebody said he's versatile, and I love that.
I don't see anything positive from this signing. I personally think it's the biggest smokescreen to confuse everybody. You know what it is? Look over here. Look over here. Rodrygo's ours. That's what I hope it is. Because this whole bullshit.
Well, you still believe in Rodrygo?
This whole bullshit, to me, is a proper director of football doing what they do. Diverting people's attention from the real task at hand. The real task at hand is is a diversion. It's a tactic, and I hope it is.
Okay, what if Rodrygo's not available?
If Rodrygo's not available, get me Eze and get a striker. Noni Madueke is still not better than anything that you could bring in this window.
You would keep Martinelli.
bro, if Nani Madueke is an option for Arsenal, it's at the back end. And that's in the case that we sell Martinelli and then we bring in somebody like a Rodrygo or Eze and we sell Martinelli or Trossard.
Do you think Eze is good enough to play in the left winger?
Yes. Eze is a game changer, bro. He plays on the left wing for Palace. He plays on the right wing for Palace. He plays all over the place. He plays in the 10.
Eze is the number 10, yeah.
Eze is like Foden. He can play anywhere. He's like Dybala. He can play all over the place. Similar to Rodrygo. He can play all over the place.
Can I ask you, Gao? Can I ask you, because I asked you this last time and you still say no. And I'm very shocked by this because looking at him, I know, look, he's failed in the Prem, but I think people should be looking at him. Why wouldn't you be looking at Lookman?
Lookman, the problem is
I think he's way better than Madueke.
There was a report that came out that scouts are concerned that how he would play outside of a Gasperini system, as he has failed in the Premier League with multiple clubs lower than Arsenal. So how would he do coming back to the Premier League playing outside of Gasperini's system for the first time in a long time? Because Gasperini does well with certain players and they never go on to do well outside of that system. I know, Mo, you probably can remember some Gasperini players.
He's listen, Ademola Lookman looks good and everything, but there is a majority of the players that left Atalanta to go to play for other teams did not actually perform even at 50% of how they performed for Gasperini. That is something that everyone knows, and Arsenal are aware of this. You know what I mean? But I actually disagree with Igala a little bit. I think Madueke, I like Madueke. I actually think, hear me out, I'm just going to explain to you. I think Madueke as a backup to Saka is not bad at all. I know that you want to trust, I think Ethan is a very good player, but if Arteta, I'm really stating my opinion here, and I know I'm getting a lot of hate for it, and I know that people will hate me for this. If Madueke is the addition to your transfer window, if Madueke is someone that is added to the likes of Rodrygo, Eze, Cisco, and you're getting Madueke, I think you're getting stronger. Because I think he's a good backup for Saka. Ethan Nwaneri is a very good player, and I like it. But maybe Arteta see him as a youngster and he's time. Because Noni Madueke's price is between 40 and 50 million pounds. And I don't think that Arsenal will go and drop 40 to 50 million pounds on a backup player. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to get Noni Madueke as backup for Saka, maximum you pay 25 to 30 million pounds. That's it. That is what I think. But for the people that keep hating and saying Madueke, no, Madueke, that, I watched some of your clips and streams and shorts. The problem is that the club has not briefed people that Madueke is a backup forward. He's not coming in to start. He's coming in basically to fill a hole on the bench, to play against the smaller teams. And I think that Madueke is fluid enough, versatile enough to actually play on both sides of the flanks to cover. But Arsenal have too many forwards. If you sign Eze, Gyokeres, Rodrygo, Madueke, you keep Martinelli, and also you keep Trossard. That is too many players.
Jesus, don't forget Jesus.
And Havertz as well. That is too many players, in my opinion. I don't know why Madueke, by the way, I don't know why Madueke is being discussed today. No one is coming to buy Madueke. If Arsenal go at the end of the window and try to convince Madueke on loan, that is good. Why do Arsenal need to sit at the table and negotiate a contract for Madueke?
Bro, it's Fabrizio. He is a mouthpiece for Chelsea content to the point where he is told 9 minutes before Joao Pedro's deal is announced by this Twitter account that Joao Pedro is getting announced in 9 minutes. Did you see the tweet? In 9 minutes, Joao Pedro is getting announced officially on the Twitter account.
And was it specific? Did it happen within
specifically 9 minutes?
He must have the link.
He is a Chelsea mouthpiece. People from Chelsea are using Fabrizio Romano's influence to throw stories out there. And Nani Madueke story was first pushed out by a Chelsea content creator in Gold. What do you call it? CFC Gold. What's his name? Goldberg or?
Yeah, that guy. I know you're talking the American guy.
Alex, that's his name.
Alex Goldberg.
Alex, he's the first one who also reported Kai Havertz, so he's credible. Kepa, I don't think he's the one who broke it. Somebody else broke the Kepa news. But in the same breath, it is consistently coming from Chelsea side. It's coming from Chelsea's side. Arsenal side has no benefit in leaking any information about Nani Madueke because it's now messed up our negotiation with one of our own academy players in Ethan Winery. Ethan Winery is rated higher at the club than Maz Lewis Skelly. Maz Lewis Skelly, we've been able to sort out his contract. We now have a contract situation with Ethan. If we bring in Eze and Madueke, we've lost Ethan because he's not going to get minutes. He's not going to get minutes over. He's not going to get minutes over somebody who's getting paid $90K a week. He's not going to get minutes over Eze, who's coming in to get the number 10 shirt. Yeah. And if we bring in Rodrygo on top of that, he might as well walk out the door. And you know what else is going to happen? We're also going to lose.
Hold on. Who wears number 10 now?
Nobody. Number 10's available.
Oh, okay. Let me do this.
Wait. Let me just say this before you forget.
All these are available. So
I
think these conversations are linked. That's why.
You know what, Ika? Yeah. You get Eze. It's a game. I think you get, like, for me, this is just me. I don't know more if you don't rate him. I rate Eze so much that even to this day, I think somebody gets Eze, your game has changed. I think Eze let's say
the game changer.
You're trying to create, and then Odegaard is not creating. Eze actually drops into there. You get Eze. I don't even think you have to start looking for a left winger. Just keep him there at left.
No.
I don't know. He's that good.
He's a left winger. Not a left winger.
Now, people. Can I say one more thing? People don't realize Ethan's 18. Last season was his full breakout season. Nani Madueke is 23. I don't think the gap is that far at the age of 18. Why would we do this?
Let me do this super chat. Guys, we need to respond to this. Thank you, D King, for all these £2 super chats actually getting involved in the conversation. If Arsenal buys Noni, I'm not watching football next year. D, I'm going to ask you something, my man. What if Arsenal buy Madueke along with Eze, Gyokeres, and Rodrygo? How do you read that window? You answer me this. Buy 2 9s, one for transition and one for hold up and connect. What about Kai Havertz? Now, Arsenal are not. They might buy 2 9s, but I think it's just too far fetched. It's too far fetched. It's not gonna happen. Thank you, Michael, for becoming a member. Appreciate you so much, my man. 2 striker, 1 left winger, 1 DM, 1 center attacker midfielder, and maybe Kudus backup for Saka. That's okay. That's not FIFA. That's a FIFA thing. You can't do that. I don't think you should do this, my man. Like 2 strikers and a left winger and a DM and a center attacker man and maybe Kudus. That is just FIFA stuff. Mo, don't say that. Take that back. Elanga is bigger than Madueke. No. I don't think Elanga is better than Madueke at all. I like Madueke.
He is.
No.
Elanga has shown his capability to consistently play and perform at a consistent rate throughout the Premier League season, where Nani Madueke has shown purple patches here and there.
Wait, are you saying? Wait, Mo, don't tell me you're saying Madueke is better than Elanga. I think Elanga is better.
Yes, I think Madueke is better than Elanga.
Elanga is clearly better, bro.
I genuinely wouldn't take Elanga. I would take Madueke over
Elanga would cook at your team with the counter-attacking ability you have.
Number one, forget my team. We play 3-5-2. None of them play in our team. Okay.
Okay.
If you're talking about a winger, I would definitely take Madueke over Elanga.
Madueke is not a better goal scorer. He's not faster. He's not better on the counter. The only thing he's probably good at, if you stand up your man and you have to beat them, that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what Madueke is better at, right?
1v1.
Hold on. For a team that plays position-based football, like Chelsea, like Arsenal, like City, like Liverpool, I'm not saying he's great, right? Elanga play in Nottingham Forest, a transition-based team that never does position-based football. So he's never faced a defender in tight spaces, tried to beat that defender in tight spaces you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, tight spaces.
Yeah.
2 meters by 2 meters, you need to beat the defender now to create the half yard to cross, right? Elanga hasn't done this. Elanga played a transition-based football where he has 20 to 30 yards to run, kick the ball and run after it. Noni Madueke plays in tight spaces. And Arsenal are the best team in actually smothering the opposition. That's why Arsenal touched the ball more than anyone in the final third, because you really camp in the opposition's half. So Elanga doesn't suit your team. He's a counter-attacking player. Madueke is not a counter-attacking player. He's a half-yard space cross, or cut back. People get confused about football. It's the same that happened for Maguire. When Maguire was scouted by Man United, Leicester City averaged 46% possession. So Maguire was only defending in spaces with like 5 players around him. He went to Man United defend in spaces, and Maguire has to defend 20 yards on his own. People that played football know exactly what I'm talking about. There is a massive difference between when you play position-based football and when you defend in low blocks. Tarkowski, one of the best defenders in the league in low blocks, because he tackles, he blocks, he jumps in front of the ball. He doesn't need to run. Put Tarkowski in Arsenal or any position-based team, and he would struggle. Why? Because now you're going to run into him. Anthony Elanga is a space player, a player that runs into the space. Arsenal don't have space. You average 68% possession, Igal. You're the team that really, your DM is 30 yards or 40 yards away from the opposition's goal. Where is the space can come for Elanga? There's no space for him to run. He's going to kick the ball and run. It's a goal kick. He has 3 yards to work with. He has 3 yards to work with, bro. 3 yards. When you play for Arsenal, you have no space to run into. Only in certain games where Arsenal, by the way, and everyone from rivals, from football analysts that say the Arsenal are a defensive team and a transition-based team, go look at the stats. Arsenal camp in the opposition's half. They camp. Against 15 teams out of the 19 teams, Arsenal have 70% position. And they camp in the opposition's half. Their problem is not being clinical. That is the problem. You cross a lot. Martinelli is not great in tight spaces. Saka's the only one that is good in tight spaces. Martin Odegaard has actually flopped in terms of creating chances in tight spaces. That is your problem. Go, if people doubt what I'm saying, just check Declan Rice's heat map. Don't check it against City. Go check it against a Brentford or a West Ham. You know Declan Rice's heat map is around the 18, inside the 18 and right across the 18. A midfielder. That tells me that the whole team is at the halfway line. So Elanga, why Elanga? Because he plays in a transition.
Are you talking about suitability or in general? Because I think you're trying to sell us.
Suitability, of course, it's different. Yeah. Suitability, of course.
It's
who's suitable.
So I would also say I would go as far as saying Hudson-Odoi would be better suited again. Also Hudson-Odoi, because
maybe Hudson-Odoi broken. Bro, Madueke is better in every stat apart from clearances and the number of assists. In every stat, every metric. Progressive passes, progressive carries, successful take-ons, touches, progressive passes forward, right? Everything. He's better than Elanga in every single aspect in football.
I still don't think, even if Nani Madueke was, doing really, really well at Chelsea, we would look at this signing and we would say to ourselves, is it financially make sense to go and buy a player right now for 50 million as a backup for
no, of course
Saka,
not.
When we have Ethan, when we're going to have Eze, and we potentially could go and get Rodrygo. If we already have Ethan, we already have Eze potentially coming in. We're gonna have maybe Rodrygo coming in potentially.
Anyway,
those two make no sense to go and get Nani. If the conversation is Nani Madueke and Eze or Rodrygo, which one? Maybe that's
hold on. Say that again. Okay, great.
If the conversation is Rodrygo or Eze and Nani Madueke, I would rather get Rodrygo. If the conversation is Rodrygo or Eze and Nani Madueke, and Rodrygo's not available, I would get Eze, and instead of spending 50 million on Nani Madueke, it's
a very good argument, guys. Guys in the chat, option 1. Eze and Madueke. Option 2, only Rodrygo. Can you guys let me know
what the answer
chat?
Would be? If Rodrygo's not an option, the option B for me would be just Eze. I think more people would rather have just Eze by themselves than Eze and Nani Madueke. I don't view Eze as a squad filler or a solution to a problem. I view him as another problem being invented. Ethan's going to have a problem with minutes now. This guy's going to have problems with minutes. We already know he's not going to get minutes over Saka. If Saka needs substitution or time off the pitch, fair. But even then, we're going to lose one of our highly talented young players in Ethan. And Nani Madueke, in my opinion, it does not bring any more squad depth or benefit to our squad than what Ethan would have brought off the bench. And in the case that we don't play Ethan this coming season and we lose him on a free to Man City, Liverpool, even Chelsea, these guys are going to be laughing in our face. Then they could potentially flip him and sell him for another 20 to 30 million to somebody else later on. I don't want to lose Ethan. I think Nani Madueke, for however much money he's making, would be a waste of money for Arsenal.
Can I want to switch the conversation a little bit, but let's just put it.
I'm sorry.
Shane, thank you, Shane. Jacobs was on the Terry. He said Arsenal are waiting for Rodrygo, but are keeping Noni as backup. Eze is specifically being brought in centrally. Okay, let me just establish something, guys. Having Noni as the backup signing if Rodrygo fails by itself is the failure. With all due respect to everyone here, right? To have Noni Madueke as your backup on your short list after Rodrygo is a complete failure. You need to have a Joao. You look at maybe a Lookman. Nico Williams is off the market. But someone from that ilk, not freaking Noni Madueke. See? Like, not Noni Madueke.
I don't you rate him. So
but I'm gonna come back to the super chat because different strikers for different games, different games. That doesn't happen often. By the way, that doesn't happen often, D King. It doesn't happen often. And also you have Kai Havertz. Ethan is not rated higher than Miles O'Skelly. Stop it, Igal.
He is, because Miles O'Skelly was not high in the pecking order before the season started last year. He maybe overtook him because his position is more needed. But going into the beginning of last season, take yourself back to the beginning of last season. There was more conversation about how Ethan was going to be Odegaard and Saka's backup. Miles O'Skelly wasn't really spoken about it like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think Ethan is the better player.
I hate Chelsea. Right. Madueke is better than Elanga. Fair enough, Diallo. You agree with me? Mo Arteta set up for counter against different teams. But you plan for the majority of the teams. Arsenal have the upper hand. Does anybody here agree? Patrick, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Igal, do you agree?
Yeah.
So yeah. Fonzie, they don't complain when there is no backup for Saka if he gets an injury and Arteta chooses not to play.
We have a backup already. His name is Ethan. And then on top of that, there's another backup, Trossard.
Okay, fair enough.
Why do people act like the position we need to sort out is the 10 and the striker? Stop thinking Ethan is ready to play in the 10. He's not. He's not ready to play in the 10.
10? The 10.
Ethan is not ready to play in the midfield.
What do you mean the 10?
Midfield, he loses the ball too easily. He gets dispossessed so simply. Where on the wing, he's able to drive with the ball. He's able to get us from attack to defense a lot easier. The performance against Leicester and the performance against Leicester alone, it shows me that he's better suited right now to the left wing than he is at as a 10. And
but Arteta doesn't play 10, isn't it?
as a left winger.
Arteta played 10 recently. I don't think
so. He came on versus Man City as a right winger, produced way more threat than some of the guys who come in for Saka on a regular basis. I don't think Nani Madueke would come into Arsenal and be content being a backup also. I don't think he's good enough to be a left winger either. So I don't want that.
All right. Bermuda Gunner, Madueke will affect Ethan's minute. It's a bad choice. That's what Igal has been saying. Thank you, Bermuda Gunner. Absolutely, you're spot on. Mo, I meant as one of the options, not the option. What does Shane say anyway? Shane saying he said, okay, I get it. So Madueke is one of the options. He's not the main option. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for clarifying this. Okay. We are talking about now, Igal. Miles O'Skelly is ahead. He's spot on. He's right. Miles O'Skelly has a starting spot in the team. Nwaneri is not. So no. Diallo is correct. Diallo is correct.
No, Diallo. I was speaking in reference to the start of last season. We were speaking about Ethan in higher regard than Miles.
So, yeah, but now Miles O'Skelly is regarded as higher than Ethan.
Because he's a starter and Ethan's not. But I'm strictly speaking of in regards of who was rated higher going into last season.
Yep.
Definitely Ethan. And now we're finding ourselves in a situation where we're saying all of a sudden we want to sign two players who are going to play ahead of him. and we're going to basically move him out of the team, then if you're not going to do that, sell him. If you're going to sign 2 players ahead of Ethan, get us something from it at least. Sell him and get me Rodrygo. It's either you do what we're supposed to do with these young talents and trust them, or you sell them for return.
No, you can't. Okay, here is the thing. Ethan has time to develop. I disagree with you, but Trossard hasn't signed an extension. He might be sold. Okay, they're talking about Martinelli being sold for like 80 million to Saudi Arabia. By the way, there is an effect that is. Why not?
Because he's too young to now go do a money grab move in Saudi.
Everybody's doing it. There's younger people have done it.
No. He's 24 years
old. How old is Duran?
He's 24 years old. It's a World Cup year. He's 24 years old. It's a World Cup year. His father is extremely ambitious for his son and has always wanted him to play at the top level. That's why they're. And also, do you guys know who their agency is? Their agency is Rock Nation. Rock Nation's not going to sit here and say, let's throw a 24-year-old, one of our highly touted young players in our ranks to Saudi. No,
Saudi makes money.
They're going to want him. They're going to want him at Bayern Munich. They're going to want him at Atletico Madrid. They're going to want him in Europe, still competing for the top.
No one is paying 80 million for him in Bayern Munich. They're going to pay 40 million max. Just to let you know. 40 million is the max.
He's worth more than Nani Madueke. What people are telling me Nani Madueke is
yeah, he's worth more. I agree. Martinelli is worth more. Igal, you know what a loan is for Ethan, right? You know what a loan is for
We're not loaning. These kind of players, you don't loan them. You keep them close. You let them nurture them.
We'll see how it goes. I believe a loan is going to be good, especially if he's loaned to Spain or something like this. It's very good.
You don't loan somebody who has a contract situation.
Oh, yeah. He signs a new contract and then you loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe was also rated higher than Saka. Now what?
Yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe was rated higher than Saka.
1-0 Diallo.
And when they both started performing well, they were both in the same level. What happened was one got injured, the other one continued to play better and better and better to the point where, unfortunately for Emil Smith-Rowe, he never reached those levels.
1-0. Okay, let's choose the conversation. Ben Jacob said on Terry that you're waiting for Rodrygo. Rodrygo's about to move. Okay, let's just establish something, right? Rodrygo's going to hand the transfer request. That is logical. That's not me speaking an ITK. The guy, Xabi Alonso, is really not having him in his plans. Like,
he's on the bench all the time, yeah.
Yeah, like, if and people are like, oh, Rodrygo's not leaving. No, guys, we all know that Rodrygo's leaving. If Rodrygo goes to Arsenal and you sign Gyokeres and you get Eze, where does that leave you in the rank of the league? How good is that team? Seriously.
Hey, until we win, we're up there. We're up there, but I can't say we're guaranteed winning anything until we do.
Nobody's guaranteed winning. Not City, not Liverpool.
Yeah. But we're regardless. I think people are overdoing the stuff about Liverpool got Florian Wirtz. They're so clear. They have to redevelop how they play without Trent. We don't know how they're going to play without Trent there, how everything's going to go. So we're going to have to see how they play. Man City, currently, they have to redevelop how they play because they've gotten so many players out of their team. And they've literally had a season without Rodri. They need to figure out how all these new players are going to mesh.
ADB is gone.
Where Arsenal, we're really just taking Partey, Zubimendi. Left winger, whoever it is, take him out, put in whoever we're putting in. And that's really only 2 changes out of our starting 11. Am I missing anybody? We've not really changed it. Oh, striker. So we're probably max going to change 3 positions out of our starting 11, where City, Liverpool, they're making major overhauls. I'm looking at Arsenal next season, competing for the league again, and hopefully with these signings, we can get over the line. In the case of injuries, we're not going to be as worried with the squad depth issue as we had last year.
No, I agree.
Can I say something more on that?
Yeah, you can.
I don't know. This is another thing is, me and Mo, I think, have got the same take on Arsenal because Arsenal gets taken advantage of, but this new Arsenal is difficult to beat. Look, you've had your situations where you're like, Arteta, what are you doing? I also question, I was like, Arteta, what are you doing? And I feel like I'm an Arsenal fan. I was like, Arteta, what are you doing? Don't bench that guy. Don't do that. Don't play this team, Arteta. You haven't reached there yet. Don't be too cocky. Like where he sometimes puts Partey as a right back and then he destroys that midfield. Like, why are you doing this? I know you're trying to rotate, but why are you doing this? My God, man. if I were you, Gao, you bring Gyokeres and Eze, especially Eze. For me, it's Eze. Eze alone can do things in this prem. You bring Rodrygo, Eze, and Gyokeres. I'm looking at your team with Zubamende, Declan Rice, who's incredible, even though people try to downplay him. With the solid defense you have, I think you're dangerous now because Eze can do stuff. Trust me, Eze can unlock the defenses, and Eze is dangerous. And Eze alone is a name that in the Prem, even maybe international-wise, they might not say anything, but it's the same like, what's his name, who went to Bayern? Olise. I used to say Olise and Eze. These two guys are dangerous. People used to say Olise is useless. Or who can buy Olise? Look at him now. I'm telling you, Eze would change your team, then bring in Rodrygo or Gyokeres.
Is he going to bench Odegaard? Is he going to bench Odegaard?
Who would bench in Odegaard?
Bro, there's rumors Odegaard was injured.
Okay, Ben Jacobs said that they're bringing Eze centrally.
Bro, I heard Odegaard might not be fit. That's rumors.
Man, anybody plays. I'm sorry. If Odegaard stinks, Eze plays. Isn't that part of the game? So,
also, transition-wise, certain games when you need to play on the play faster and on the counter in Europe,
Eze is so good at that.
Better teams. Eze is better at that.
Odegaard's career at Arsenal might be like ending soon if he takes his place.
Hey, nothing wrong.
Odegaard to Real Sociedad. Here we go in 2026.
Yeah, but more. That's the same thing we're talking about.
Kai Havertz and Odegaard are gone.
Yeah, it's business, man. It's football. It's not names.
Ben White too.
Yeah. Oh, Ben White. Send him my way. I need a defender. Send him.
You need a right back. Ben White.
You guys.
Ben White would fucking cook at City.
Yeah, he'll be a solid right back. I can't lie.
AMT said Liverpool got players early. Liverpool got players early because
they needed to.
Because of the financial year in May. Thank you, AMT. Yes. Yeah, but everyone is like, it's the 1st of July. Where are the players for Arsenal? It's the 2nd of July. Where are the players?
Even Mendy's getting announced today or tomorrow.
And also, just hear me out. It's not only that, but we all know that Arsenal are waiting for their main target, which is Rodrygo, who Real Madrid have a game in the fucking Club World Cup. They are not going to negotiate about a player in the middle of the Club World Cup. But people want Arsenal to go and like sign Rodrygo today. Absolute bullshit.
Bullshit. America.
Well, I think bullshit, bro. Like some of the things that I hear on the social media about Arsenal being this, Arsenal being that. Number one, Arsenal targeting a player that is really playing the biggest club in the world. And the club is waiting for the Club World Cup, right? But no, Arsenal should sign him today. The only problem where I criticize Arsenal is the fucking striker situation.
Bro,
where is the striker?
Where
is the striker, bro? Where is the striker? Can someone explain to me why haven't Arsenal signed a striker until now?
Do you want to laugh? Somebody said to me yesterday, Denzel Dumfries a market opportunity.
You have Ben White and Timber. Why would you get Denzel Dumfries?
I don't know, bro. Talk to Lee. I don't know. What is he talking about?
Yeah, but it's not a market opportunity for you guys. You guys are good.
Like the word market opportunity, like, okay, like, what are you gonna do with Denzel Dumfries?
18 million. I think it's 18 million.
What are you gonna do with Denzel Dumfries?
I'm telling you, bro. Some people just want every player they see. They're like, it's FIFA.
Like, what are you gonna do with Denzel Dumfries?
I'm taking him at City more.
You can take him. Take him.
Bro, you take him to City. Wallahi, you're finished.
I have no right.
Guy, by the way, you tagged me on Twitter. I didn't respond because he's actually not that bad of a defender. What you think? He's not DeMarco.
He's better than what we have. Look at the options we have.
Could he play right back?
Yeah, can play right.
Defensively, could he play right back in the Premier League?
Is in a City team? He's good, but I'm just gonna tell you, Dumfries is not like the greatest footballer on earth. He wouldn't suit City. He would miss up passes. He would miss up all the. I'm just telling you honestly. He would miss up all the sequences.
I don't believe, because every time I try to take a player from you, like I rate Barella, and you tell me that he's not the guy.
No, Barella is fantastic. Barella would start for you.
But yeah, I want give me Barella.
Barella start for you. Guys, can we get to the likes to 400? I challenge you to get to 400. We're not even on 300 likes. It's like 800 people here. Hit the like button. Come on. Can't look at football the same since Jota passing. His wife experienced the best and the worst day of her life within days. I will miss Jota. Number 20 forever. You never walk alone. Love each other. Big up. That message at the end is what I actually spoke about in the beginning of the show.
Big up, man.
Like, you have to actually love each other, and
Pretty nice.
yes.
You know what? Let me just say this. Shout out to you. And one thing, we got to remember there's a lot of young fans who've not been through this before, where they've had a player they know and they've watched throughout their life and seen, like, unfortunately pass at a young age. And this is just another eye opener to everybody, man.
100%.
Like, life's short. So you might be the day before you might have been talking to somebody, the next day something might happen to them. You never know. Life's short. You need to keep your eyes open and, like, be nice to people. Show
be
your
close to your loved
ones
ones and leave a good memory. Always leave a good memory.
Yeah, be nice to your family, your friends, and just, if you have any beef with anybody or problems with anybody, like, it's never really that serious, man.
100%. Redevelop, retool, resupply, recuperate, not rebuild.
Okay, bro. Let me explain. I come from a world of where in
That's
basketball,
funny.
for example, a rebuild is you rip it all apart and you start again. So when people in football say rebuild, what Man City are doing from the season when they had a couple years ago to now, they continuously evolved. They've not rebuilt. Liverpool, what they've done, they've not rebuilt. Retooling is when you have your main guys and you build around them. You have the structure, you just take it apart and you rebuild. It's like redevelopment. Yeah, it's like having a house and all you did was you did renovation over the property. You didn't really rip it all out.
Bermuda saying Rodrygo, Eze, Zubamendi, Gyokeres, Arsenal is winning big. They have to be favorites, by the way.
No. Liverpool are favorites.
Nah.
Liverpool are favorites.
Egal. This is what
we're not doing the Liverpool underdog thing.
No. If you look, you finished 3 times number 2, and then you're adding more firepower.
If you win the league and you sign the most expensive player in football club's history and the Premier League history,
nobody cares. Your team. Look, Egal, your team. Do you know that your team is dangerous?
Listen, if I came on stream and said we were favorites, you guys were calling me deluded.
No, I think the fact
that I'm saying calm down, we're not favorites, because I'm being rational. I'm saying the team that won the league just signed the most expensive midfielder in football history, and all of a sudden I'm wrong.
It depends on who they sign. To be honest with
it depends on who says it too, Mo.
It depends on who they sign. You know, I know that Osam will run if this happens, Osam will run the leopard in the truth. You know, and I know this.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
We both know this. Lee Gunner is a troll, a comedian, entertainer, unserious. He's not. He means it. It is what it is. Do people in the chat think Arsenal are serious? Like, are actually seriously favorites? Sorry?
Don't ask them that. People are just haters. They want to answer you the right way.
What about Chelsea? If Chelsea offload Madueke and get Kudus, where do they land?
I honestly don't mind Chelsea. I just look at them. I see an episode of Lost. So many characters, not enough minutes for each one.
Yeah, true.
You know, the problem is the money that Chelsea spent, if they spent it on, like, better players, they would be cooking. To be honest, they would be cooking.
Yeah, but do you remember our last conversation?
Liverpool are going to get Guehi, by the way. We all know this.
Yeah, but Mo, do you remember our last conversation when I was telling Dan, I was saying, why don't you guys, from now on, right now, as your team is, just go get me a very good defender like the Guehi, if they got Guehi or somebody like that. Go get a proper serious keeper and a proper serious striker. And I think that the Chelsea team looks better. Do you remember what I was told? Oh, but that's not going to happen because that's not the plan. I keep hearing that from Chelsea fans. That's not the plan. So what's the plan? To keep waiting? For how long are we going to wait for?
I don't know what's the plan. Egal, when are you starting
get a serious keeper.
2:30.
2:30? Okay. We'll finish in like 9 minutes. Just saw Jota's wedding photo with his family. His 3 babies are growing up without their dad. It's devastating. It is devastating. It is absolutely devastating, people. Yeah. Pray for them. May he rest in peace. And I hope that Liverpool do the right thing, to be honest. They know what the right thing is.
Yeah, Chelsea's not there yet. quickly, let me just see. So you guys already spoke about City. You spoke about Pedro. You know, Joao Pedro is a good signing, but Chelsea do this thing where they sign the same player that doesn't work for them every time. Think about it.
What do you mean? Can you explain to me?
They signed Kai Havertz, false nine kind of player who plays everywhere. He doesn't fit anywhere specifically. They signed Nkunku, same kind of player, doesn't really fit anywhere, but he can do everything. And now they've done it again with Joao Pedro. And they also did it last window with Joao Felix. So we make fun of Arsenal signing players that don't work. But Chelsea signed the same player that doesn't work all the time. The same profile of player that doesn't work all the time. You
literally just went and got Kai Havertz from them.
Yeah, but you know what? It's Joao Pedro, for me, doesn't suit their team because he's not going to play as a 9. He's not going to play as a right winger. He's not going to play as a left winger. And I don't see him playing as a second striker. I see him playing more in Chelsea system would be in a 10. He suits a team that plays with 2 forwards up top or where he's playing as the forward up top. I don't see him really fitting in to what they do. And I think he's a great player. And if they can get him to work in whichever system they have, it would be amazing. But I just don't know how it's going to work.
João Pedro can play on the left side.
I can't see him. I can't see him
Pedro better than Martinelli and Trossard?
I think João Pedro is a good player, but I don't think he's going to work at Chelsea with the way that they're going to try to. I don't see how it's going to work. I see him very similar to all these players they've had in the past that have struggled to get specific minutes in each position because he's a jack of all trades, master of none.
He's better than Jackson in terms of like finishing, link-up play. So
is he a better striker than Jackson?
Yes. No,
he's a better finisher than Jackson. He's not a better
a better striker overall than Jackson.
He's not a better link-up play. He's not better overall at Jackson. He's not better. He's not better. He's not better. He's not at a better winger than Neto.
Don't. Okay. What is it called? Don't dismiss what I'm saying. He's a better passer and a better dribbler and a better link-up play and a better creator than Jackson.
No,
that is the definition of link-up play.
He's better than Jackson at finishing. He's better than Jackson at aesthetically. He's more pleasing. But Jackson's movement off the ball and on the ball is better as a forward than João Pedro. The issue Jackson has is his finishing and his IQ might not be all there.
Which is basically the link-up player. You have to actually have football IQ.
I don't think we are missing the thing that's most important. Profiles of players are important. And I feel like Chelsea signed profiles of players that don't suit what they need. And I think João Pedro is another example. I think what they need.
Okay, so they're targeting Kudus and João Pedro.
I think what they needed this window was somebody who could offer them consistent production of goals and assists from the left-hand side, and they've not done that.
Gittins and João Pedro.
I don't know. Gittins is not guaranteed. Gittins not guaranteed.
But that's now we're talking. Okay. Now you are saying that Gittins is not guaranteed. Chelsea don't sign guarantees people unless Neto. They sign Neto. Okay. In my opinion, that is their model. They sign talent. So they sign Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer. And they bank on the talent actually being good. They think that Gittins can get them the goals from the left side. That's how he did it at Dortmund, right? So they are not going for the wingers that scored. João Pedro is a proven player in the Premier League. He's very, very good.
But he's never really been a goal scorer or an assister.
What is he good at then?
Honestly, taking the ball from the midfield to the attack and then passing it to somebody else to figure it out.
Two-striker formation.
I think their best front three next season. I couldn't.
Don't tell me Jackson.
I couldn't tell you because I really do think they don't even know what their best front three is right now.
Yeah, they don't right now. They
don't. Chelsea have a collection of players that any of them could figure it out, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if none of them figure it out.
Okay. Let me see what the people are saying. Chelsea need a father in the house, need discipline. Maybe they're going to sign an experienced player. They need an experienced player. Like here is saying, we have played with 2 strikers in the Club World Cup, and his work rate is a lot better than Nkunku. Igal yapping about things that he doesn't know. Again, focus on Madueke.
But he's right. Why do people get defensive? The guy is right. I remember when, even when you bought in Kunku, I said the same thing. You guys just collect these players for the sake of, we don't even know what the plan is. And guess what? People are right. You collected Raheem, you collected Sancho, you collected that guy. What's his name? I forgot the guy who's been done for the drugs. Yeah, you guys. Okay, let me tell you something, Chelsea fans. This might hurt you. For the past few seasons, you've just been collecting players which have been linked with other clubs, and other clubs ask you, why are you taking him? What's the point? And look where it's got you. Please tell me. Okay, let's have this guy. Tell us who's your strongest fan.
Pull up Jay's comment, Mo. Yeah. Pull up Jay's comment. You have no clue what we're doing. Focus on your club. I've spoken to multiple Chelsea fans. They don't know what you're doing. Multiple fans of your own club will tell you, you guys don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah,
because you've changed your plan numerous times. If Nkunku couldn't work, if Joao Felix couldn't work, if Kai Havertz couldn't work, you have multiple managers throughout this time also. At what point do you start saying to yourself, stop buying players like João Pedro, who are more suited to a different style than what you guys play?
I didn't watch a lot of the Club World Cup. I just went and checked the lineup. Chelsea in the last game played with the same formation, actually, with Cole Palmer on the left, Neto on the right, Enzo Fernandez, and Lavia and Caicedo. So how are Chelsea? Can someone really in the chat ask me how are Chelsea going to play with two-striker formation? Who's being dropped? I'm being serious. Who's being dropped from the Chelsea team if they're going to play two-striker formation? And when you say two-striker formation, are you meaning Jackson and João Pedro? Or who do you mean? As a Chelsea fan, you guys tell us, educate us. Let us know.
Please tell us. Please tell us.
Let us know. One winger is going to be Neto. And who's going to be the striker? The Flamingo game. I literally just checked the Chelsea versus Benfica. Let me just check the game before. Let me get the game before. Benfica, Leverkusen, Flamingo game. Okay, with Chelsea had a red card. You started the game with Neto, Palmer, Caicedo, Reece James, and Enzo Fernandez, and Liam Delap. So where are the two strikers? I'm being serious. Where are the two strikers? Where are the two strikers? Where are the two strikers? Why people just, you keep slandering opinions. Who are the two strikers? People are fluid. Yes, on the pitch. Cole Palmer is being here. Do you think Chelsea are going to start João Pedro? I believe João Pedro is going to be the left. Right. It's going to be João Pedro, Delap, Cole Palmer. Neto. The starting lineup for Chelsea is going to be this. But in the same time, that means Cole Palmer is going to play the left winger. Okay? Cole Palmer. I get what you're saying, Kingsley. I get what you're saying. So Cole Palmer is going to be a winger, and Neto is going to be a winger, and João Pedro. If that is the case, that is fine. If Cole Palmer is going to be a winger, which, by the way, it looks like he's going to be a winger next season. So what is going to happen to Gittins, Estevao? What is going to happen to these people? What if you don't sell Madueke? We'll see anyway.
Raheem is back in the team, by the way?
No, Raheem is not going to be back. Fonzie saying, how players to gel when you bring 10 plus every window. Okay. Jackson is going to be sold. I hope so. Not two striker formation more. Okay, so you keep changing your opinion. Not a two striker. So what do you mean a two striker? So can someone from the Chelsea fan tell me just really the lineup? I want the starting lineup for Chelsea next season. Okay, I want, which is fine. I want the starting lineup for Chelsea. It doesn't have to be a super chat, guys. I really just need the starting lineup for Chelsea next season.
I don't think it's outrageous to say whatever they say. There's no guarantee that that's actually what Maresca's thinking.
But I want their opinion. I want their opinion. I want their opinion. I need the start.
Palmer's in here.
We know that Enzo, Palmer, Caicedo are going to start. We all know this. Everyone knows this.
Is Lavia starting?
I don't know.
The manager said he's having injury issues. So,
okay, Delap as a striker. João Pedro in the 10 behind Delap. Palmer on the right pocket. Enzo left pocket. Neto on the right side. Okay? And Caicedo as a DM. That would work. That is fair enough. I like that lineup, actually. I like that lineup.
Wait, I'm confused. So who's on the right?
Neto.
So you have Neto and Palmer on the right-hand side. You have I think you're doing yourself a disservice putting Palmer in the midfield three with Enzo and Caicedo, and also having João Pedro, Delap, and Neto on the pitch at the same time. You need to remove one of them and put in.
I like this lineup actually. I like this lineup.
I think you need to remove one of them and put in an actual another midfielder.
I think this lineup is very good.
A double pivot would make more. So is it a double pivot with Enzo?
No. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Like that?
I'm gonna tell you what is gonna. That's what I think is gonna happen. Like, I actually think that Palmer might be left to right and Neto the other side. Okay,
so or similar to what we're doing with Odegaard.
No. Wingers. They start on paper as wingers, and then you have Enzo, Caicedo, and Pedro behind the left. Pedro behind the left.
Okay, so second striker, right winger Palmer, left
Neto,
winger
Gittins, whoever.
He didn't even mention Gittins in this.
Doesn't matter. But Neto may start on the left, or Palmer start on the left, and Neto start on the right side. We'll see how it goes. It might be a diamond, as some people say. By the way,
hey,
we'll see how it goes.
I think football is very simple, and sometimes my club makes a lot of signings. Like if they do make Madueke a signing for Arsenal, it doesn't make sense for me. And I think João Pedro is a good player.
What if they sign Kudus? What is going to happen then?
If they sign Kudus, then it's a situation where they now have another player who I feel like is a jack of all trades, master of none.
Kudus is great.
Kudus is a purple patch player.
No, Kudus is phenomenal.
No, Kudus is gives you six good games out of 10, and then 4 games where it's like hit or miss.
No, I disagree.
I don't think Kudus is. I think people overrate Kudus, and he's very hyped up. But West Ham last year, he clearly was not even close to the levels that he was at. The year when they won the trophy with Declan Rice and everything, he was killing it. He was performing well consistently.
Every time I'm watching Kudus, he's a difference maker.
Yeah, he can get on the ball and he can make a difference in certain moments. But at the end of the day, he's not going to lift the team by himself on a regular basis.
No one can. You don't have any player that can lift the team by themselves. You don't have Salah.
Bukayo Saka can.
Maybe. He's closer to... Yes.
No, but the way people speak about Kudus, I do feel like he's slightly overrated. He's a good ball carrier, but he's slightly overrated into a category where, similar to like Turkey, he's aesthetically pleasing, so he's highly rated by more people than he actually is effective.
Turkey is effective. Turkey is effective. Turkey's very effective.
Can last one before we end the show. Can Eze play an 8? Can he move? He can move centrally easily. I actually think Eze can play an 8, 10 winger. He's not a flat out winger, but he can be like start on paper as a winger. But I think he can play in a lot of
with Rice. Yeah, you're right. Shit. I thought Kudus was there when they won the trophy. He wasn't there, no.
He might not be there. Guys, we're not even on 300 likes. We're actually 10 likes away from 300. Hit that like button.
That's stingy, man.
Igal is going live. Guys, hit that like button. Igal is going live now on his channel. So go and check his channel at the current moment. He's going live at the current moment. So go and check out with him and you can actually battle whatever. What are you talking about?
We're about to break the bank for Rodrygo. And we got to talk about the Ethan contract situation. It's a mad thing. Who reported that? It was reported earlier. If you go on Madrid Zone, there's a report that came out from Madrid Zone.
Yeah, I saw.
An hour ago. Saying
what is breaking the bank? Is it like 90 million? What's the
90 million euros?
That's not a lot these days.
Wallahi, we'll see. That's not a lot at all. Guys, hit the like button before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're actually on the way to 36,000 subscribers. So let's get there soon, guys, by subscribing to the channel. I will see you guys soon. And Igal is going live. Go check out his channel, Igal Talks Football. And also True City Fan in the description. We're out of here.
Yeah, no.